2023 and the first day of spring. And let me tell you something, in northern New Jersey right now, it does not feel like the first day of spring. It is 34 degrees and I'm freezing. I got the heat on in the car. I didn't have the chance to let the car warm up. I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and I didn't want to leave the car running because I was afraid that it might get hijacked. But it certainly does not feel like the first day of spring. But winter is officially over. I didn't have the chance to let the car warm up. I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. Let me just lower the volume. And I didn't want to leave back. I got to make sure that there's no feedback. But yeah, winter is officially over according to the calendar, and this is spring. But like I said, it's 34 degrees. It's not spring. 60 is spring. So I'll wait till a couple more people. I started the show early because I have a couple things that I have to do before work. But so I'll wait till a couple listeners come into the chat. Let me say hello to everybody so far. Who's here? Tommy Stiggs, good morning. Teresa, hi. How are you? Just give me a couple minutes to talk about what the thumbnail means. Because I put that up there for a reason, and that title. But how was everybody's weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. Got to put my glasses on. The weekend, I always say this, the weekend goes by fast. It just flies right by. I mean, you know, I was cooking yesterday, and before I know it, it's like 4 o'clock. The whole day is shot. But that's just the way it is. You know, when you work, you wish your life away because you wish the week to be over. But so I was on Todd Father's show this morning earlier, and he had a good show. Tommy had a good show. And I'm sure Dean will have a good show this afternoon. So let me just talk a little bit about the noise you hear is the heat in the car because it is kind of cold. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't have a chance to let the car warm up. I have a different angle that I'm shooting at this time because of the sun. I didn't want to shoot the pizzeria. Change the scenery. Who's that? People are waving to me. I have no idea who they are. All right, we have 5 people in the chat here. Let me see who's here. Bundle up. Bundle up. Bundle up, I know. I had the fireplace on this morning. Yanks, how are you, Yanks? Good morning. Stick around, Yanks. Stick around. Okay, so my thumbnail says that wasn't nice. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I got wind that someone was having some difficulties or some issues with their channel, and that some people were blocked. So I figured I would check mine out, which I never do. And to my surprise, I saw that 6 people in my show were blocked. Now, I did not do that. So it was intentionally and maliciously done to me and to my listeners. And I find that to be very offensive and disrespectful not only to me, but to my channel and to my listeners. I don't know who did it, and I don't care. But it was totally uncalled for. These listeners did absolutely nothing to anyone. They've always been respectful to me, and I've always been respectful to them. And had I not gotten wind of the issues that were happening, I probably would never went over and checked my account to see. And I was shocked. I was, because I don't block anybody, you know, and there's no need for that. You know, I value my listeners, and I hold them in the highest regard, and they're all respectful, and I've been respectful for them. I haven't done anything to anyone since I've been on YouTube that would really warrant that. So it was just a malicious act that was done, and I was upset over it. I mean, because, like I said, I wouldn't have become aware of this at all. So it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice at all doing that. But I guess you kind of have to expect that on YouTube, because on YouTube, you have to expect anything. So I have removed all wrenches from my show, because I don't want that to happen again. You know, it's not, you know, I did receive a couple of emails, but I didn't, you know, I don't want that to happen again. It's totally uncalled for. I don't really see the point of doing something like that, to be honest with you. I really don't see what your point is. I mean, I didn't do anything to anyone, not that I know of or can think of. But like I said, I guess you have to expect that kind of a thing. You know, I know we spoke about it, but sometimes you forget about what you speak about, and you know, or you don't give a second thought, and then suddenly something happens, and then you start remembering all the things that, you know, you spoke about. And you're right. Anything is possible on YouTube. Anything is possible. But you know, it's disrespecting me, and it's disrespecting my channel and the other individuals, you know, who had nothing to do with anything. I just don't see the point. I just don't see the point as to why somebody would do something like that. You know, I'm trying to think of it logically, you know, why. Can't come up with any answers. I guess I'll never come up with any answers for YouTube, you know. But unfortunately, I had to. And don't take it personally. Please don't take it personally. It's just a safety precaution, so it doesn't happen again. Because it's not fair, and it wasn't fair to the people who were blocked. They did absolutely nothing, you know. Yes, there are some sick people on YouTube. Yes, there are some emotionally disturbed individuals on YouTube. Yes, there's some vindictive and evil individuals on YouTube. But there's also some nice people on YouTube. So it's a mixture of both, just like off of YouTube. It's, you know, I just think that YouTube, you know, is a little bit more, is a little bit more. So again, please don't take it personally. I have nothing against anyone. It's just a safety precaution, because I don't want it to happen again. You know, it was totally uncalled for. Well, okay, Yankees, thank you. I appreciate it if you explain it to me. It could be. I mean, I'm not really proficient in all the areas or all the things that happen on YouTube. Even though I've been on, what is it going to be, 7 months? Actually, 7 months next month. So I don't know everything, you know. It's been a learning experience, and it's a whole different ball game on YouTube as opposed to Facebook. Totally different. Totally different. Facebook is mild compared to YouTube. You can't even compare the two together. So when you get a chance, and you know, if you'd like to elaborate a little bit on that, Yanks, I would appreciate that. Because like I say, I'm not versed in everything. This guy's got green hair. I can't believe this. He's got lime green hair, and he's skateboarding. Oh my God, the younger generation. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much about that. I just wanted to touch base a little bit about that topic and let my listeners know that it's like I said, it was a shock to me. It really was. And I shouldn't have really been surprised. I should have said to myself, well, gee, anything could happen on YouTube. And it's true. It's true. Arms, how are you? It's going good this fine Monday morning. It's the first day of spring here in northern New Jersey, but as I was saying, it's not spring weather. It is 34 degrees. I got the heat out in the car, and it's cold. It's cold. But it's officially spring, and maybe during the week, excuse me, we'll get up to 60-degree weather. I have to look at the weather forecast to see, because that's spring weather. Hey, the good thing is, this is always a good thing. My day is going great. You know why? Because I woke up this morning. That's the best part. Other people did not wake up. And speaking of wake up, which brings me to Just Chillin' show. I don't know why. Just Chillin' show. It was yesterday. Had a very good show. A very interesting show. And an intriguing show. I found it to be intriguing, where he took us on a tour through a very famous cemetery in California. So if you haven't subscribed to Just Chillin', I do recommend you subscribing to his show. Very unusual, very good show. Nice guy. And this is the second time he's done this kind of a show where he's taking us on a tour through a cemetery. He did one of those a couple of weeks ago. You know, that's something you don't normally do, but it's interesting to see who was buried there, you know, all the famous people. I did not do a show last night because I was busy doing some family things, so I wasn't able to do a show last night. But let me just say hello to everybody. Make sure everybody I said hello to everybody. Yeah, I know. The weather's crazy. The weather in Jersey is absolutely crazy. If you live in New Jersey, you can live anywhere. We have all kinds of climate. You live in Jersey, you can live anywhere. We have a little bit of everything. People complain about the cold. Then the summer comes and complain how hot and humid it is. There's no happy medium, you know? They gotta have something to complain about. People are always complaining about the weather. Adam, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I just want to drag this out. I just wanted to touch base on that, and that won't happen again. That won't happen again. Because I'm going to check now. Well, how you doing, Anthony? Good morning, buddy. Anthony had no tea show yesterday because of family obligations. I know, that's why I didn't have a show last night. Same thing happened to me. I couldn't do a show. Family comes first. Family comes first. YouTube is secondary. So you'll have a show next Sunday or next Thursday. Oh, Thursday you're doing wine again, that's right. Well, you don't have to explain, buddy. You could have did a car live. You could have did a car live on T while you were driving. I'm only kidding. Tammy's here? Let me see. Tammy, you're here? Let's see. I don't see her. Wait a minute. I don't see Tammy. Or are you saying Tommy? No, Tammy. I don't see Tammy in my chat. Is Tammy here? Because I don't see her. You sure you didn't do a typo error, Anthony? Because I don't see Tammy. Oh, okay, Tommy, okay. Yeah, okay, so I don't want to beat a dead horse. That's the topic that I wanted to cover, and I covered it, and that's it. End of story. It's not going to happen again, and it's a disgrace and disrespect toward me, my channel, my listeners, and I don't like it. I've done nothing to anyone to offend them that something like that has to happen. People are just, it was maliciously done. I find it offensive and disrespectful toward me. And that's it, end of story. So I wanted to address that, and it's not going to be addressed anymore, and that's it. I try to have a show sometimes with a topic. Sometimes I don't have it. Well, these car lives, I don't really have a topic, and I just want people to come and have a good time, and enjoy the show, have some laughter, have some fun. I tried to download Dindu's show the other day from when Toddfather came on and did the presentation, and for some reason or another, I can't download his show. There's something very funny about that show with downloading it, because I wanted to take out portions of that show of Toddfather doing the announcement, and I just can't seem to download it. I don't know why. Because I want to put a bunch of clips together. That show was 2 hours long. It took forever to download, even with the fast speed that I have. But I don't know what the issue is. Go Train, good morning, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Happy Monday morning to everybody. Although I hate Mondays. I really do. I hate Mondays. The only thing I'm happy about is that I woke up and I was able to drag my ass to the K-Rig. And as a matter of fact, it's funny because I cleaned my K-Rig out this morning on some advice just to make sure I wasn't drinking mold. Oh my God. Oh God, the things we talk about. But it's true. I mean, you got to be careful with the Keurig. It's not like making percolated coffee on the stove, because the heat kills everything. The flame, Am I drinking mold? Am I drinking mold in my Keurig? I even had the kit to clean it out. I think it's got to be, once every 3 months? But no, that can't be. I mean, once every 3 months? No. I flushed the whole thing out this morning. I didn't want to take any chance that I'm drinking mold. But you got to, I don't know if flushing it out using hot water kills mold. I don't know. I can't say, but if there's any mold in there. I usually use distilled white vinegar. And then it takes a while to flush it out to get that vinegar taste out of the water, But they recommend that you use white distilled vinegar. But anyway, who the hell wants to drink mold at 7 o'clock in the morning? And I only make percolated coffee once in a while. I keep a can in my cupboard. Well, if you want to call it a cupboard. I keep a can of chock full of nuts, to make percolated coffee on the stove, just in case of an emergency that I run out of K-Rigs. Because God forbid if you run out of coffee in the morning. Oh my God, that's a disaster. And that's happened to me. No, Adam, what I was saying was, yes, vinegar. Vinegar is good. White distilled vinegar is what they recommend, and I never got an aftertaste of the vinegar either, because I flushed it out very, very, very good, and that eliminates the vinegar taste. But the first couple of times, I keep flushing it and flushing it and flushing it until that vinegar taste is gone, or that smell. But that stuff is expensive. I mean, the little filters that you put in the Keurig, the little pods, not the pods, those little tiny filters that go inside where the water goes, they're expensive. And so is the kit. But a large gallon of white distilled vinegar is relatively cheap. So it makes you stop and think, right? It made me stop and think, wow, am I drinking mold? Let me go check. Is that why I feel shitty after I drink my coffee? Oh my God. Yeah, so that was a good topic about flushing your Keurig out. Like I said, it makes you stop and think. So how was everybody's weekend? Everybody have a productive weekend? I didn't do any carousing. I haven't gone out. But I will tell you one thing. I watched Angel Gotti's video, which was a tribute to her brother. I found it to be very touching. And the song that the individual used who put that video together used a great song. That song really got to me. Dancing in the Sky. And I told Angel that I'm going to sing that song. And I'm going to sing that song. I'm going to go into the studio. I'm going to record that song. It's a beautiful song with beautiful words. It is sad. I mean, using that song to the photos or a video just enhances the photo, just enhances the video. Music always makes a video. So I found it to be very touching. I went back and listened to the song. I checked for the version, for the back, the music. It is available, and I told Angel that I'm going to sing that song, and she liked that. So, if you get a chance, listen to the song "Dancing in the Sky," and listen to the words. It's a beautiful song. I've never heard it before, but it was such a touching song that I feel impelled to sing it, and I'm gonna. So, that's that. You kept your prostate? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me read what Adam is saying here. The first time I ever cleaned my coffee machine with vinegar, the gook that came out of it was so disgusting I couldn't use a coffee machine again. Oh my God, Adam. So, Arms, how did you keep your prostate clean all weekend? You know what? I don't drink water. That's one bad habit that I have. I do not drink water. And I should. I'm not flushing myself out. I don't drink water. And yet in my refrigerator at home, I have Pedialyte, which is very good, which I opened up and took like one glass and that's it. But I need to drink more water. I do not drink water. And that is one bad habit that I have. And you need to drink water to flush out your system. So now, guys, I'm going to start drinking water. Thank you for telling me that. Because I'm not flushing my system out. Seltzer? Why? Why seltzer? I have access to a lot of seltzer. Tell me why I should drink seltzer instead. They have flavored seltzer, cherry, lime, I could drink that, but I don't know why you're telling me to drink seltzer. Is that better than water? Dr. Adam? I'm getting all this advice this morning. Clean your Keurig, drink seltzer. It's good for heartburn. Okay, that's one benefit. But I don't have I don't get heartburn. I don't get heartburn. I don't get acid reflux. I don't. Nothing repeats on me. I don't know why. You know, I could do White Castle. I could do White Castle with onions on it, and and bacon and cheese, and it won't repeat on me. Is that not normal? Yeah, I know that seltzer is carbonated water, but is there a benefit other than preventing heartburn? Um, I mean, if I've had flavored seltzer. I've had the cherry seltzer and the lime seltzer. It's pretty good. I liked it, but it makes you burp. Is that repeating? It makes you burp. But I'll try it, Adam. I'll try it. I'll try the seltzer. In fact, I'll drink a seltzer today. We got tons of it. Tons of it. I have access to all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. See, I picked up 2 tips today. Clean your Keurig and drink seltzer. And I'm the content creator. I should be giving everybody ideas. No, that's what it's about, though. Communication. That's what it's all about. Communicating. Brainstorming. Brainstorming, that's a popular term. We're brainstorming. Coming up with ideas and opinions. Okay. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll go to drinking water. I can't see myself drinking like 6 glasses of water per day. Is that what you're supposed to drink? 6 to 8 glasses? God. 6 to 8 glasses a day. It's kind of tough. And that fills you up too. I mean, going to the bathroom constantly. Well, I guess that's the whole purpose, to flush yourself out, right? If you're drinking water, you're going to go to the bathroom, you're flushing your system out. I don't know. I've always been that way. I've never drank a lot of water. Even as a kid. The only water really I drank was the coffee water. It was coffee. I don't drink soda. I drink Snapple occasionally, or I'll drink those smoothie drinks that you get in the grocery store, like strawberry and banana, smoothies that come in a bottle. It's like a quart. They're very good. But soda, I don't really drink. Once in a while, I'll drink soda. But as a kid, I drank tons of soda. Coke, Mountain Dew. I grew up on that stuff. And, nobody said anything about it back then. But that's what it was. D Truth, how are you? Good morning, buddy. Thank you for joining. But that's the way it was back then. We didn't have all these things that we have today, all these drinks. I don't even think Gatorade was around back then. Coke was always on my table as a kid. And then we went to a place in Newark called Brookdale Soda, where you went and you picked out your own soda, with different flavors and everything. But soda was the big thing, And Coke is really actually not good for you. If you could see all the benefits that Coke does, I don't think you're going to be drinking Coke anymore, You can go on the internet on YouTube and see what Coca-Cola can do, and I don't think you're going to be drinking Coke anymore. Powerful stuff, And I always found that in the summertime as a kid, that soda never really quenched my thirst. You know, soda never really quenched my thirst in the summer as a kid. You know, I would drink, I think, Mountain Dew, which I wouldn't even touch today. You know, because that stuff was all loaded with sugar. But the sugar that we ingested as kids, the candy that I ate, oh my God. Jeez. It's amazing that I have teeth. But I always took care of my teeth. But we ingested so much sugar and candy as we were kids. Unbelievable. And nobody said anything about it at all. You know, we had a candy stand in our grammar school that when we ate in the cafeteria, after the cafeteria, you went and you bought candy at the candy stand. You know, all kinds of stuff. Mary Jane's, Red Hot Dollars, Pixie Sticks, which was 100% sugar. The flavored sticks that had powder in it, the cherry and the lime and the orange. That is 100% pure sugar. And we ingested that crap like it was nothing. And you know what? We weren't wired up. I wasn't wired up. It never affected me. So now, in grammar schools, they don't have candy counters anymore. They did away with that. They did away with that. It's a shame, you know. These kids will never experience that. You know. And then with the chewing gum, I must have chewed every kind of flavored chewing gum that you could possibly think of and swallowed it. And my mother would always say, Ralphie, don't swallow your gum. Your stomach's going to turn to rubber. And the chewing gum, like back then, like Juicy Fruit and Spearmint, Wrigley Spearmint, you know, and Bazooka, those gums have changed in their formula through the years. Now they use aspartame. So there's a different taste in those gums, you know. But I very rarely chew gum. But my God, I can't, oh God, cannot tell you the sugar that Ralphie ingested. Joey Melrose, good morning, buddy. You know, if I tell you, you're going to say, ew. I used to, this years ago, I'm talking like maybe 25 years ago, I used to drink probably 6 cups of coffee a day. But I used to put 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar in the coffee. Now, because I used to like my coffee sweet. I don't do that anymore. 1 teaspoon of sugar, that's it. And now to think about that, back, you know, what I did back then, it just makes me sick, you know, that the coffee was so sweet, you know. So I did away with that. But coffee has no effect on me whatsoever. Maybe I'm immune to it. I could drink a cup of coffee and go right to sleep. I could wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and go right back to sleep. Has no effect on me whatsoever. The only thing is that it does make you crash. So if I notice that if I drink coffee like 2-3 cups in the morning, by the afternoon, like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I start to crash a little bit. I start to get that down feeling, you know, that tired feeling, because I'm crashing from the coffee. And those those energy drinks, I will not touch. Those are the worst things for you. Monster, all those drinks that are high, they're supposed to be high in energy, are no good for you. No good for you whatsoever. And yet these kids drink it like it's nothing. They drink it like it's nothing. Gerard, good morning. Oh, I know, Adam. There are withdrawals from coffee. Some of the withdrawal symptoms are headache, fogginess. It is addicting. Coffee is addicting. It's got caffeine in it. So I do know the effects of coffee. It gives you that burst in the morning. You know, when you wake up, you're tired. You're like, you know, and it does give you that burst. It gives you that energy, and it is addicting. So headaches. What are some of the symptoms other than headaches? Fogginess, sometimes jitteriness, But it's a habit. We become like cigarette smoking. It's a habit. You become accustomed to it. I cannot see myself waking up in the well. I could, but I cannot see myself not having a cup of coffee in the morning. That first cup is enjoyable. So to a lot of people, you know. And I used to drink tea. I used to drink tea years ago. Um, for a while there, Lipton tea. And tea has more caffeine in it than coffee. I'll tell you a story. Is that when I first got married, that's back in the '80s, and that's when I was drinking tea. And one morning, I boiled the water, and I had the cup. I was in my underwear. I had the cup, kind of like toward the edge of the table, and the spoon was in the cup and pointed this way. And after I poured the water into the cup for the tea, I went to grab the sugar, and my hand hit the teaspoon that was in the cup, and the hot boiling water went all in my lap. Hot boiling water, okay? I gave out such a yell. Now, hot boiling water on your private part, okay? My wife wrapped me up in a blanket and took me to the emergency room immediately. I screamed like I was in pain like you couldn't imagine. Luckily, the hospital was 2 blocks away from where I lived at the time. Here I am in the emergency room with a blanket wrapped around me in my underwear, and they took me in, and I was in such excruciating pain like I've never felt before. I mean, if you have hot boiling water on your private parts as a man, or can you imagine the pain you would be in? I almost went into shock. And I don't remember what they did, but I remember being in the operating room, or maybe it wasn't the operating room. I was on the table, and when I know I'm going to be a bit graphic here, but when they peeled my underwear off, some of the skin came off. It wasn't a pleasant sight. So, and of course they gave me some ointment and stuff, and thank God I was okay. But that was one of the most horrible experiences in my life that I've ever experienced, and pain that you cannot believe. And this is a true story. My wife didn't know what to do with it. She didn't know what to do, because I couldn't actually talk, But she saw what I did. She saw what I did, So that's one of the experiences I would take. And maybe that's what made me give up drinking tea. So that's a little story I wanted to share with you. Wasn't a very pleasurable experience, that's true. And that's something you never forget. Never forget. And pain, God, pain like you've never experienced. What's going on here with the Mets? Who's Carol? Joey, you drank Red Bull down in AC? You're up for 2 days? Oh my God. Yeah, that stuff is, I would never touch that stuff. I would never touch that stuff. Gerard, I take it you're a Mets fan, huh? Most Mets fans are Jets fans. Most Yankee fans are Giant fans. I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm a Dallas fan. So we'll see what happens. Baseball season is going to be opening up next Thursday, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Next Thursday. Man, that went fast. Payne, how are you, buddy? That went fast. Jeez. I do miss football though. Football is my favorite sport. I find baseball sometimes to be a little bit boring, but I still watch it. I'm still up to date with it. But football is my sport. I miss football. After Super Bowl, I'm kind of lost. I do watch hockey occasionally, but it's just amazing how time is flying by, isn't it? You root for the underdogs, okay? Time is just like flying by. Listen, Easter is in, if you're Catholic, Easter is in another, 2 weeks? The 9th of April? So it's just, before you know it, before you know it, May will be here. Before you know it, Memorial Day will be here. But I got to start getting out. I haven't gone out in a while. I haven't out caroused. I haven't gone out singing. I haven't done any karaoke. I run into people and say, Ralph, where you been? I just haven't been going out. Sometimes you fall into that rut where you just don't want to go out. So I'm gonna have to start going out, start doing karaoke again, doing some singing, doing some live singing. I just fell into a rut. Oh, my arms. Well, the older we get, we're more aware of time. The older we get, I can answer that. Is that if you remember when you were a kid and you took a trip somewhere, it seemed like it took forever to get there. But if you take the same trip today as an adult, where you are right now, that trip would not seem as far as it did when you were a kid, because your concept back then was different. Your perception was different as opposed to now. So time seems to move faster now as you get older. It does, because your daily life is very busy. Your daily life is very busy. You have bills that you have to pay. You have responsibilities. If you have kids and they're young, they're doing sports. I'm saying, then you're involved in their sports. You're involved. So your life is very busy, as opposed to being a kid or a teenager, or being, not having any responsibility. So time does move quickly when you get older. Like I always say this, you work 5 days a week and you get the weekends off. Well, before you know it, the weekend is over. Now, Saturday, I do all my gallivanting on Saturday. I say gallivanting. My banking, grocery shopping if I do. I try to do my grocery shopping once a month, but sometimes I got to go back to the supermarket to get little things, And I do all my errands on Saturday. Before I turn around, Saturday's over. It's nighttime. You know what I'm saying? And then Sunday comes rolling along, and all my gallivanting has been done on Saturday. And Sunday, before you know it, it's 7 o'clock at night. And you got to be back at work the next day. So the weekends go by very, very quickly when you're working. Now, what I was going to say was that I did say that when you do work all during the week, the week does go by slow when you're working. Sometimes. Sometimes it goes quickly. It depends on how busy you are. But I have friends who are retired and hang across the street from me in the Krausers, and there's about 5 or 6 of them, and they don't work. They just hang in the Krausers all day long. I can't do that. I have to be productive. I have to be productive and have a schedule and do something and be active. I don't know how they do it. I go there on the weekend sometime to visit them, but they do this every single day, hanging in there, hanging in there. I just can't do that. I can't do that. You have to be active. You have to have a schedule. You have to have something to look forward to. How could you look forward to hanging in a Krausers? But that's them. I mean, they're all nice guys and everything, but that's what they choose to do. I don't. I'm not like that. But you have to stay active, especially if you retire. It's not good to not do nothing at all. Have a little part-time job, get yourself a dog. Don't be a couch potato. That's another thing. I'm not a couch potato. I don't sit on the couch. I don't watch TV and gorge on potato chips and cake and ice cream and none of that stuff. Junk food once in a while I'll eat, some potato chips, but not often. I'm not a big fast food eater. I do occasionally go to McDonald's or White Castle, but that's occasionally. So that's how I maintain my weight, and plus exercise. I'm like a rubber band. But who's to say I could wake up one morning, fall apart? Be thankful for what you have. If you got your health, you got everything. Money is secondary. Without your health, you can't do anything. I had ulcerative colitis. How many years ago was it? 2014. I had ulcerative colitis. I was very sick. I lost 30 pounds. I was in the hospital for a month, in a hospital bed. Then I had to go into rehabilitation to learn how to walk again. I couldn't walk. I got 10 pints of blood. I was a mess. I couldn't walk. I was using a walker. I was in a wheelchair. I was a mess. I didn't think I was going to make it. And thank God the colitis, is in remission. It's been in remission since then. But that's the worst thing to have. That's like, what do you call it? Something syndrome, bowel syndrome. I forgot what you call it. Horrible. Yeah. So be thankful for your health. You take your health for granted, You think you're immortal, but you're not. But if you get very sick, you realize, that without your health, you can't do anything. Money is secondary. All that material things are secondary. That's why I'm happy to wake up every morning. Some people didn't wake up this morning. Unfortunately, I do smoke. I've cut down to like 3 cigarettes a day. I'm going to totally quit. And that's the only vice that I have, really. I'm not really a drinker. Never was. I didn't do drugs. I will never touch drugs. So, and who knows? Longevity runs in my father's side of the family. So who knows, Who knows? Right, Gerard, I know. I like, what you said, Adam, I love rainy Sundays. I love rainy day Sundays when it's either the fall or the winter, not the spring or the summer. On a rainy day Sunday, I like to hang out on the couch and watch a couple movies, light a couple candles, because I'm very big into candles. I like scented candles, like Yankee candles. Light a candle or two, make the room smell nice, and the house is dark because it's rainy outside and it's cold and it's damp, and just hang out on the couch all day, because there's really not too much you could do outside. So I love rainy Sundays. Love them. Saturdays too a little bit, but more so Sundays. Rainy Mondays, I hate. I hate rainy Mondays. Now, there was a particular guy whose name I'm not going to mention, He's all chipper and uppity in the morning when he. But that's because the guy's been up like since 3 hours already. He's totally awake and up. Me, when I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, I'm not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You know, I didn't have my coffee. This guy is been up for a couple hours already, so his outlook on everything is different. You know, you follow what I'm saying? That's why I laugh all the time. You know, that I am not. I mean, I'm a morning person. You know, but when I get up the first thing, I gotta have coffee. I'm not gonna be jumping around. You know what I'm saying? It takes me a little while to wake up. Like right now, I'm awake. You know, but that was 7 o'clock this morning. Here it is 9:30, so that's 2 hours later. So now I'm fully awake. But I'm not awake at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Funny? I laugh all the time. You know what? You know what? Adam, I gotta tell you something. I like being in the car. Jesus, let me put this window. I like being in the car on a rainy day and it's cold and dreary out. Then I put the radio on and I listen to a very soft, relaxing jazz station, which makes me very relaxed, sometimes too relaxed, because you'd be driving and all of a sudden it's making tired and you're driving and you gotta watch. But that's what I like. Oh, okay. You really drawing? Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, it does. It has that effect, Adam. Uh, like I said, when it's a rainy, dreary, cold day out, and I put the radio on, and I put this jazz station that I listen to, which is like very soft music, and you're relaxing, and it's sometimes it's not a good thing. You're driving, and if you got the heat on, it's even worse, because the heat makes you sleepy too. So you don't want to be, you don't want to, you don't want to end up killing yourself. So, just some of the things, Yeah. One way I get around that from not getting up at night is I stop drinking fluids at a certain time. That's one way you can get around it, and sometimes you can't help that. I mean, you got to go to the bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom. Sometimes it's hard to fall back to sleep. When you get up in the middle of the night. I have a problem getting up in the middle of the night because I'm always stubbing my toe. I'm always forever stubbing my toe on the furniture. So, causing self-inflicted pain. Hello, Cal. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. So that's it, guys. That's really my show for this morning. I want to thank you all for joining me. If any of you missed the topic, that's the reason why I put the thumbnail up there. That wasn't nice. You can go back and watch the replay because I have to release these shows after they're over, and because they come up as private, so I have to release them. You can go back and watch the replay. I don't get very many views on the Car Lives. I don't know why, for some reason or other. I get more views on the Sunday night show. But again, I didn't do a Sunday night show last night because I had family things that I had to do. So, I'm just reading the chat just to make sure I said hello to everybody. I think I covered everybody's name. All right, so you guys, Dindo will be on at 2:30. And listen, Dindo may be going back to work very shortly. He's just waiting for that phone call. So the 2:30 time slot is going to be empty. You know, and Teresa, yeah, she's still here. Teresa, how's Ryan doing? I know you came back to listen to a whole bunch of a mess. You know. So how's Ryan doing? Is he doing good? But yeah, that's about it, guys. That's what I wanted to cover. Oh, that's good, Teresa. I'm sure you're very proud of him. That's a very nice thing. You had a good time when you were there? I know you come back, you're away, and then you come back to a whole bunch of nonsense, right? All it is nonsense. Nonsense. That's all it is. Bunch of stupid nonsense that's ridiculous and uncalled for, and these people are supposed to be mature, right? We're supposed to be mature. These people act like kids. They act worse than kids. This is stuff that you would do something in high school. I don't see the logic behind it. I really don't. I probably guess I never will, because on YouTube anything is possible. Anything is possible, and anything can happen in a moment's notice, which I've learned, But like I said earlier, I have not done anything to anyone to any shows or any listeners. To what happened, to us was not warranted at all. I just don't see. It was malicious. It was offensive to me, disrespectful not only to me but to my listeners and to the individuals that happened to, who did absolutely nothing. Because I have all great listeners, as we all do in our shows. So it was totally uncalled for. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I talked about it once in the beginning of the show, and that's it. It's a close. The subject is closed now. But I will be monitoring my account. I will be monitoring it once a week, and that's something that I've never did and never. I didn't give it a second thought until it was brought to my attention. So, and I was quite surprised. So I will monitor it. I removed all the wrenches. Don't take it personally, please. It's just a safeguard to eliminate the issue. It's nothing personal against anybody. I mean, we don't know who did it, but it's obviously somebody possibly. I don't know. At this point, I don't care. But it's a dead issue now. Oh, I didn't know that, Coltrane. That may be possible. That's probably true. Arms. Now that I think about it, you're probably right. I never gave it a second thought. I never thought that that would cause a problem. But you live and you learn, right? You live and you learn on YouTube, and I agree with you. I gave too many people a wrench, and like I said, that's something I never even thought would be an issue. If I did think it would be an issue, I wouldn't have done it. But you brought up a very good point. I agree with you also. Okay, you're right. Everyone and their dog was getting wrenches, which made them worthless. You're absolutely right. You're right. Now that I think about it, because I wasn't thinking about it, you're right. I think almost everybody in all my listeners had a wrench, and I guess that was defeating the purpose of having a wrench. But I like I said, I never gave it a second thought. I didn't think it would be an issue, because I never experienced that before. And as you experience things, you learn not to do them again. So Adam, I agree with you 100%. Those are very good comments, and it's unfortunate that Yeah, that's true, Teresa. That's true. I only have two I think I only remained with 2 people that have wrenches. And please don't take it personally. I mean, if you think taking it personally, then you have an issue. A wrench is, oh, come on, it's a wrench, you know. But it is helpful. I mean, I could also drop. I can't drop channels on the car life. I can drop them when I, do the Sunday show, or if I'm using my computer. But I can't drop them doing the live. I would have to depend on other people. And the 2 people that have wrenches are not in my chat right now, or maybe they are and they're just not, saying anything. So it is an unfortunate thing. Yeah, it's stupid. It really is. No, none of us know each other personally. No, we don't. You don't know who. I mean, you don't know. No, you don't know. How are you gonna know? How are you gonna know if a person is really the person that they're projecting themselves to be on YouTube? Their name, their image, their personality. You don't know anybody. You really don't know anything. You know. Uh, they could be being a phony. Who knows? You do not know. It's not like real life where the person is in front of me and I could see him. You know. There's only one person. There's only one content creator that I can see face to face, because that content creator lives 4 blocks away from me. You know, that's the only content. Oh, I'm sorry, 2, but the other one lives up in northern New Jersey. So there's really 2 content creators that I can become face to face with, and you know who I'm talking about. So everybody else I don't know. I really don't know. You know. So I mean, when I come on, this is me. The way I am now on YouTube is the way that I am off of YouTube. You know, I act the same way. You know, so that's what I always say as a content creator. When you come on and do a show, you want to be yourself. You want to have a good personality. You want to be down to earth. You don't want to BS anybody. Be genuine. Don't put on any airs. You know, these people, they have their shows are big, and then all of a sudden it goes to their head. Oh, you're not Johnny Carson. You're not David Letterman. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have 500,000 subscribers and listeners, don't let it get to your head. Come on, really. I couldn't, listen, I have 300 and something odd listeners. It's kind of hard when you have a lot of listeners and a lot of people are in the chat, like say 100 people are in the chat, it's kind of hard to be personal with everybody that's in the chat, because you have so many people in there and you're trying to do your show and you're trying to read the chat, so it's difficult when and the chat is moving very quickly. So it's hard to, be on a personal level with the individuals and the listeners that are in the chat when you have so many people. So I know I'm not one content creator, and I don't really like that term, but everybody else uses it. I'm not one creator that is worried about how many listeners I get. I just say be happy with what you have. When I first started out, I had nothing. So what I have now, I'm happy with, and if people come on board, that's good, but it's difficult, to be on a personal level when the chat is moving quickly and you have so many people in there, and then sometimes they're having their own conversation in the chat, which is totally not about what the creator is talking about, and that happens a lot, it is what it is, right, guys? Oh, really, Gerard? Okay. Hello, MD. How are you? Teresa, because I know that you work outside, you know that today is officially the first day of spring. Of course, today does not feel like the first day of spring because it's like 34 degrees here. But you work through all kinds of weather, and actually so do I at times. So hopefully the weather will be getting nice soon. Now that it's officially spring, it doesn't mean that we're going to have weather like spring. I mean, hopefully within the next week or so, the temperatures start rising. I haven't even looked at the weather forecast for the week. But spring is a beautiful time. It's a really nice time. I can't believe that it's going to be Easter soon. Jeez. And like I said, time is just flying by so quickly. What happened to me? I'm ND. Go back and listen to the beginning of the show. I can't go over it again. It's a dead issue now. It's a dead issue. Happened to me and a couple other people as well. Listen, like I said, on YouTube, expect anything, and don't be surprised at anything that happens. It's totally different than Facebook. It's a learning experience for me. I learn something every day. There are some malicious, I'll say it again, there are some malicious, evil, nasty individuals on YouTube, and there are also some nice individuals on YouTube. So you got a mixture of both. I just think that it's it's worse on YouTube than it is off of YouTube. And like I said, I have done nothing in this. I look back, I've done nothing in the 7 months that I've been on YouTube that would warrant anyone to do something like that to me. Or I haven't done anything to my listeners. It's just a malicious, offensive, and disrespectful thing to do to me and my channel and to my listeners. Because like I said, I value my listeners, and I always tell them I'm open for suggestions. And my standards are no drama, no harassment, no abuse, no vulgarity, and respect. You couldn't ask for anything more. That's what my standards are for my show. Period. End of story. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's Monday morning, the beginning of the week. At least the sun is out here in northern New Jersey, even though it is cold. Enjoy the day. Dindo comes on at 2:30. If you're available, check out his show. And I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, guys.